Chris, thanks for joining after such a, I wouldn't say a crazy game, but a mad game. Lots to talk about. But first, we mentioned the importance of making this place a fortress. Back-to-back wins. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, it's always special under the lights here at Bolidho, but the atmosphere tonight was electric. You know, felt it from the moment we walked in and the players were warming up. There was a bit of a misty kind of feel about the place, and as soon as the sun dropped down and the dew come up, it was perfect conditions for the way we wanted to play. But obviously, you know, minutes into the game, an incident that affects the whole the rest of the 90 minutes really. But you know, being 10 yards away from it, you see it clearly. He's just kicked out. It's just one of those moments where two players come together. There's a little bit of kind of, you know, handbags where they're kind of getting in each other's faces a little bit. But the guy's just taking a bit of a swipe out of him. But fortunately for us, the linesman sees it and we get a decision go for us, which we don't always get. But fair play to Taunton. You know, like the way they made it a real tough game today. You know, the energy they showed, the fight, the determination. Yeah, they scrapped it out and there was moments in the game that really tested our players. And you know, we talk about character quite a lot over the last couple of weeks of our group, and you know, we spoke to them at half time about what to expect, and you can't really prepare for what might come, but talking to the players about keeping their heads, not getting involved in things, don't leave feet dangling in tackles, don't kind of raise our arms in challenges, just trying to make sure that we are a professional in the way we go about things, and believe that we can use the ball in such a way that's going to cause them problems. But you know, second half Taunton were excellent in terms of the way they started that second half, put us under pressure, hit us on the break, and took their goal well. And you kind of worry for us, because this year when we've gone down, when we played 10 men, we have leaked goals and we've lost points. But great resilience from the lads, and you know, getting back to our game and moving the ball, finding the overloads, great little move to score that goal, and then that professionalism to see the game out. I'm really pleased with how the game's gone in terms of the way we kept our heads, the way we really stood up and were counted. You know, a lot of long balls and winning our headers, second balls as well, trying to clean the ball. But yeah, really proud of the lads, and it's a fantastic 3 points for us.
I think you've got to take out all the nonsense that happened at half time. We can only concentrate on us, but for the players to kind of navigate a match like that, it was for me trying to comment or tweet about it. I was even dismayed at times. It must have been madness for the players.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you've been in football as long as I have, you think you've seen everything. But you know, there was I've never ever seen anything like that before. But the way that we were able to manage the players before going in at half time and get them to calm down and explain to the players that that's the kind of game that's going to try and make it second half, try and make it a bit more of a scrap, so it doesn't become 11 versus 10, it becomes a bit scrappy and it becomes more of a war of attrition to a certain extent. And that's why it's so important that we have to play our way. We have to try and make the numerical advantage work for us by keeping possession. I think even in the second half there was times where we were just kicking the ball back to them at times, and that's what hurt us. Was it Basingstoke away when we were 1-0 up for a long period and had the extra man, and we kept kicking the ball back to them. But when it mattered, when we really needed to keep possession and run the clock down in a clever way, we were able to manoeuvre the ball and get into some very good areas, and we were unlucky not to create other goal scoring opportunities. We were always going to be vulnerable on the break because they were happy to lead two players up, and you know, they've got a goalkeeper that can, you know, kick it a mile. So you know, it's testament to our two centre halves and our midfield players to win those first contacts and fight and scrap, and you know, but they've got some very good players, and they're a good team, and you know, you can see why they're doing well in the league this year, because they've got a real fighting spirit. And you know, for us to win 3 points today at home and, you know, try and reinforce this place as a fortress is a fantastic result for us.
I was going to mention that when we did drop those points at the end of countless games, but tonight the players looked up for it. They looked up for the fight, and you say about the keeper, biggest kick I've ever seen in my life. Balls were coming in the box, and we looked well up for it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, that we are a lot stronger in that regard this year. We are more comfortable with some direct play into our back line and winning the first contest, and like I say, scrapping around, getting those second balls. And I felt in the first half that even when those second balls were dropping, there was times where we could have just turned out and kept possession because of that numerical advantage and having the extra man at the back, and utilise our goalkeeper and play short and just invite them on a little bit more. You know, but obviously in a game where the environment and the atmosphere wasn't like it was today, and you know, the behaviours and the conduct of both teams in terms of making it a real kind of nervy affair at times, you know, as the way the game ebbed and flowed. I don't blame the players for every now and then kind of just trying to put the ball in areas. But yeah, it's something that, again, the boys are buzzing at the end to pick up another victory. That's 3 on the spin now, and it's building the boys' confidence. You know, as well as we played, we've got Carlo coming off the bench and shoring things up and showing his maturity to get on the ball and keep us ticking over and keep his position to help help snuff out any counter attacks, and even Will, at the drop of a hat has to come on and make his impact, because James has run past every single blade of grass tonight, and he's tied up and got cramp, and Will comes on and makes a real difference. He's physical, he's strong, he can defend, he can get up in the air as well, and he creates a great opportunity that Rocky nearly kind of seals the deal. So players at the moment within the squad are really competing hard for those places. They're putting pressure on the players that are on the pitch, and when players are called upon, they're producing. So we've got a very competitive group of players that we always wanted competition for places, and we're in a good place at the moment. We just got to keep that wagon rolling, keep the good feel, and understand that we have to keep pushing hard, have to keep working as hard as we possibly can, outwork and outthink the opposition. But today was one of those where we just had to dig deep at times just to make sure that we got the result that we did.
And finally, I'm sure this game will get talked about long after the final whistle, maybe sometimes for the wrong reasons, but we'll draw a line under it. And finally, Hungerford away, discuss.
Yeah, it's a good moment for us. We've got to, like I said, take the momentum over the last 3 games, the performances, the individual performances, the growth of the team, and we're in a different place. We're in a good headspace. We're in a good. There's a good feel good factor. Within the group. And there's some fantastic energy. Yeah, we know that Hungerford at home is a tricky place to go. Yeah. That the hill and the way they play, it's going to be tough. But like I said, I feel we are a little bit more resilient with direct play and defending and winning those second balls, and we have to go there with that belief that the last 3 games, when we've put our foot on the ball and played, we've had a lot of joy. Yeah. And that's all we can do going into Saturday. Be us, compete when we have to compete, and show how good we are. And we're a side that is always going to improve. We've got hard-working lads. We train on a Tuesday. We've got optional sessions in the gym on a Wednesday, and optional training for technical work on a Thursday. So there's opportunity for our players to work hard. We get lots of buy-in from players. And last year we only trained once a week, and when you had a midweek game, we weren't training. So we are pushing in the right direction. We're getting players that are fully committed. And that's the ingredients for a fantastic kind of squad and an evolving football club.
Macca, what a night at the theatre. Enjoy your cider tonight.
No worries. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers.